Welcome to another edition of the Wonderbury podcast.
I'm Brian,
And I'm Dave.
and you can find us online at wonderbury.com.
You can find me online anywhere open Darkwing.
And you can find me, I'm still talking about Instagram, checking it out.
There we go. Well, it's a new year, my friend.
Tis Happy New Year.
Happy New Year to you as well.
You're happy, well, not to us. Not Happy New Year to us, but Happy New Year to our listeners.
Well, yeah. The world may end before the new year, so we're hedging our bets.
Yay. But
What?
nothing. Definitely didn't cheer for the end of the world.
It is what it is, right?
Yeah.
How was your Christmas?
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Well, that's good to hear.
Yeah, it's pretty chill. Stayed at home, did nothing, stayed warm.
Stayed warm, weathered everything out.
Yeah.
Decided the storm wasn't necessarily the worst possible thing that could happen.
Yeah, it sounds like we didn't get nearly as much as everybody else in this year.
We had bad ice. So I think the big deal with our problem was because I think we got it worse than like even north of us in Indiana did, because we had that day of the flash freeze event where it plummeted from, 40 degrees to -3 or whatever it was in a day. It had rained all day that day. So when it flash froze and then threw a little bit of snow down, we were pretty much driving on straight ice with a little bit of snow. And because it was so cold, salt couldn't do anything.
Yeah, that's
so
between how it was here.
Between the no salt frozen roads and then the winds were blowing so bad because we were getting 50-mile-an-hour winds, they just shut down the plows. So we were pretty much, I think if I had been in a bigger vehicle, it would have been okay. But like I had to take thing 1 to work on Christmas Eve, right? And it was, wind was blowing. It was still all ice. I was stopped at a stoplight and the wind blew my car into the next lane. And that's when I realized, yeah, I'm not driving anywhere because this is beyond ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
It was kind of terrifying. Like I said, if I'd been in a heavier vehicle, it may not have been so bad. But, when you're trying to stop at a stoplight at 5 miles an hour and you end up traveling 20 feet in a straight line and you can't do anything to stop, I was pretty much signed out at that point. I'm like, yeah.
Here we go.
But overall, it was a good little vacation, kind of break from everything.
Yeah.
Could have been worse, but overall, it was good.
Yeah, ours wasn't bad here. I think the first night was pretty bad, but then we didn't get as much snow.
Yeah, we didn't get very much snow. We got maybe 2 or 3 inches, and that's about it.
Yeah.
But it was the ice. It was the ice and the wind that was just ridiculous. And normally I'm not one to bitch about winter stuff, but dear Lord. Oh, well.
I did still get out and get all my hacking done each day, so.
I should probably start. I think once the kids go back to school, I'll start doing that again since I'll be driving pretty much every day anyway.
Yeah. getting a little turds dropped off.
Yeah, you know. So instead, I stayed inside and played way too much RuneScape. Mostly because it runs halfway decently on my laptop, so
Yeah.
that way I can sit upstairs next to the wife and play video games with her instead of having to retreat down in my little dungeon of a basement.
I picked up playing Valheim. My brother got it, so
Oh, but play Valheim again, huh?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes.
those types of games, I still struggle to get into those types of games.
The survival.
Yeah, the pure survival that way. It's even RuneScape, it being kind of an MMO. It's my first one that I've played. I was for years and years and years. I played nothing but first-person shooters. So getting into other games has been kind of slow because now that and don't get me wrong, I still love first-person shooters, but as I've gotten older, my reaction time and everything else is really slowed. And I realize that I'm not nearly as good as I used to be because of it. And so, constantly getting dunked on by kids it just kind of takes the fun out of somewhat. When I was the one doing the dunking, it was awesome, but getting absolutely obliterated by the youth of today and it's been annoying.
Yeah, when a 12-year-old snipes you and then talks about pounding your mom from behind, you're like, wait a minute here.
It doesn't feel any better that used to be me, and it just isn't anymore.
Yeah.
But it's all right. I mean, it's evolution of gaming, kind of deciding to do other things, and I might give survival stuff another shot. I think I could enjoy it more, but I don't know.
You liked Minecraft pretty good.
I still like Minecraft, but the problem with the difference between Minecraft and those other survivor games, there's leagues difference between them in gameplay alone. Minecraft I like because I can shape the environment to meet my needs. I don't have to plot my needs to meet the environment.
Yeah.
So I don't know. Plus, I'm not as big of I like a lot of the mod stuff that Minecraft has, and I don't know. Think about playing some Minecraft again, though. Good old modded Minecraft again. There's a mod pack that's kind of come back out that I really enjoyed the last couple iterations of it, so I might try playing the new one. But even Minecraft, I haven't played in a hot minute.
Yeah, I haven't either. I was thinking about setting up a server. And...
Hey, you're stuck on the Bedrock, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you don't play PC anything.
Oh, yeah, so I do Bedrock on the PC just because it runs smoother.
It can. There's a lot of limitations to Bedrock that I don't like, but
it's not as easily moddable, but that's getting better. Slowly.
Well, yeah, data packs and stuff you can do quite a bit now with them.
Yeah.
It's still, I mean, once you have things like being able to build computers for unlimited storage and have auto crafting for grind stuff to get higher up and heavier stuff, it's kind of going back to anything else is kind of like, wow, this is back to the Stone Age. It adds, it's fun though. I still love it.
I had the one world where I had a whole bunch of stuff automated.
Yep. And you can automate quite a bit. You're a lot more limited in Bedrock, which you can automate because of. I think that my biggest problem with Bedrock is that so many rules of what blocks can and cannot do are different between Bedrock and the Java version. So when you get used to doing something in Java version and you go into Bedrock and you have to relearn how even things like redstone circuits work.
Yeah.
Because there's redstone circuitry stuff that you can do in Java that you cannot do in Bedrock because it's different for whatever god awful reason that Mojang decided to do that with.
Well, because they made it work more like real wiring, and a lot of the redstone stuff in Java and glitches and how ticks work. Whereas with Bedrock, you don't have that. It just works off of like natural timing, like natural design.
But it's still frustrating when you're trying to do an item sorter and you have to redesign the entire thing.
Yeah.
It just
trying to search for one on like YouTube or something, there's nothing available because nobody. There aren't a lot of builders on Bedrock.
Yeah, I've thought about when I get back into Minecraft again, especially vanilla Minecraft, of going with the Bedrock version just so I can relearn all that stuff and then create tutorials for how it works on Bedrock.
Sure.
Because with a lot of people that play mobile and Bedrock being as popular it is, who knows? Maybe I ought to do that. Because I was going to create a Minecraft series of going through. So modding has gone through several iterations. There's a lot of mods were stuck at 112 because of how it was designed, and back-end stuff didn't change a whole lot from 112 to, or it kept changing every time they release a new update. The way mods were done kind of changed, and we were stuck on 112 for so long that most mods were pretty much 112 only. Well, after 116, that changed. They kind of kept the way that mods interacted and how you would write mods kind of as a set standard to help the modding community, which was amazing and great. And so now mods are coming back out and getting updated and everything else, but there are obviously changes from the 112 mods to the 116 plus mods. So especially now that we're in 19, I think we are now, or are we in 20 already? I can't remember. Anyway, I've thought about doing a series of kind of a mod exploration. This is how the mod works now. This is what all it can do. This is how to use it, all that stuff. But I wonder if I just take that same energy of learning all that stuff to do a whole bunch of automated farming stuff and automated stuff in Bedrock.
Yeah.
If that would be a good use of time that way. And I think it probably would.
Yeah, I mean, that would be some good views.
Creeper farms and iron golem farms and all sorts of farm stuff of automatic doing stuff. Because you can find all that stuff built for, automatic sorters, and you can find all that stuff built for Java without a problem.
Yeah.
The problem is that most of those methods are different in Java than it is in Bedrock.
Yeah. If you want to do that, remind me and I'll send you a couple of my worlds where I have a bunch of stuff built.
Yeah, I'm thinking about utilizing. I haven't decided how I'm going to utilize it yet. If I'm going to try to find current designs and then edit them, or if I should just try to design my own from the ground up. And I might do my own from the ground up. Just so that it's a little easier instead of just being, hey, I'm copying someone else's design. I'm basing a design off of X, Y, or Z.
Yeah. Might always be good to have a starting point though too, so you know where
Yeah,
what
kind
you're
of
looking at.
a starting point of how the world reacts to certain things,
Yeah.
and then once you understand the concept, then you start the process of, all right, now I get this. So now how do I make it better, more efficient, less glitchy? Because anytime you're doing things, especially item sorting, there's always going to be some stupid glitches somewhere. It's just the nature of doing something that the game was not intended to do, which is always fun to. I mean, anytime you can make a game do something it's not intended.
I had one world where I had the massive auto sorter building, and I had a whole bunch of automatic farms. I had all the crops. So there was wheat. I think I did wheat, bread, carrots, beets.
I've always enjoyed automatic bone meal farming.
Yeah, I had a semi-manual bone farm.
Well, what I ended up doing was for a fully automatic, and this is going to be an interesting departure from our usual podcast, but who cares? I created a watermelon farm that had a whole bunch of observers and pistons that would fire when they would grow. So it would, knock the watermelon down, and then underneath it, I had a hopper mine cart that would run and collect everything, and then it would stop, automatically dispense it out into a hopper, which then push it automatically into a composter, which then automatically pushed it from there, hoppered that into a chest. So it was a fully automatic bone meal farmer. Which was awesome, but
I gotta show you this world I built.
I think I still have a copy of these worlds somewhere. I have to check.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I saved a bunch of these worlds. I'm about 90% sure I saved all my worlds. But we would make these worlds bigger and bigger and bigger, and then until they ended up getting self-corrupted because we were doing some crazy. Well, one got corrupted because of our gold farm. We'd built a giant piglin farm that would one tick open and shut frickin' nether portals to have the piglins come flooding in. And then we would auto kill them with tridents on a we had like a kill chamber with tridents and pistons that would knock the tridents around, because the tridents they don't actually get stuck anything like arrows do. They just kind of bounce around, but they'll still give damage.
Mm-hmm.
So we had a kill chamber for that. And then if the person placing down would also get all the experience. So it was an XP farm as well as just massive amounts of gold.
And if you're standing over it, and if you're the person that threw the trident, and you're standing over there,
yeah, it's all the XP.
Yeah, you can equip your looting sword.
Yep.
And you get the looting bonus on the trident kills.
You get the looting bonus on the trident kills. Plus, then you also get, if you have mending on anything, it was great for mending.
Mm-hmm.
Which is another reason why I really liked. I liked it because you could it was great for Bedrock because you could mend tools with it. So like usually what you would do in Java is you would have the tool in your offhand and you would have the sword and you would whack stuff and you could mend your tools that way. But you can't offhand equip tools in Bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least you couldn't for a long time. I haven't tried in a while, so I don't know if you still can't.
The last I played, you couldn't, and I'm pretty sure that was earlier this year.
All right. So yeah, maybe I'll get back into it playing Bedrock so I can just learn up and start building these giant systems out of Bedrock and stuff and figuring it out that way.
One argument that I always had with Bedrock, with Minecraft in general, was that there's no best XP farm. You build them all. Every time you find something that can be an XP farm, you build it because you're always needing to mend your stuff. So
yeah,
you might as well have a bunch of them now.
The most effective XP farm I think that I've ever built, and I still contend is probably one of the best XP farms out there, is Enderman farms in the end.
Yeah.
Because you can get them to drop. You can get them to fall and drop and stuff in to where they're just one hit, and then you can just whack them with a sword. But once again, that doesn't work in Bedrock because you can't mend. You cannot mend tools.
Well,
that way.
What I usually do is I just once they're down to one hit, I just come in and whack them with my pickaxe, my axe, because they do damage. So
I guess you could do it that way.
Yeah.
But also gives you an unbelievable amount of pearls.
Yeah.
Like stupid amounts.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I should see if I can get another Bedrock server. The other problem is that especially with Bedrock servers versus there's a difference also between what you can do on a Bedrock server versus a Realm. That's my other complaint about Bedrock is that realms and servers react differently because they disable stuff out of realms. Which is really annoying.
You can private host a Bedrock server, same way you can a Java server.
I have access to a server we use for all of our Minecraft stuff, so that's not a big deal. But then it becomes a problem when Xboxes and consoles cannot join a server; they can only join realms.
Really?
Yep.
Huh.
Because Mojang and Minecraft decided to not allow them to join. They can't input in a custom server. Yeah, no, that was really annoying to find out because I was trying to do a thing where I would play with viewers, and a lot of these kids, they didn't have anything other than an Xbox to play on, so they were screwed. So yeah, it's been an interesting trip going through all the differences between all the versions of Minecraft, what you can and cannot do, and the limitations for each one. And to me, it's just stupid, but they keep saying they're going to go through they're going to finally have parity and continuity and everything else, but they've been saying that for 3 years now. And
yeah, it's been longer than that.
Every time, now they've got, at least as of 19, I think it was, they finally got seed parity. So that's at least nice between Java and Bedrock.
Nice.
So the seed numbers will build accordingly.
That's awesome.
Yeah, no, that was a really big deal. So the next one I think they're working on is getting combat parity, because once again, for some god awful reason, that's different.
They were close, and then they didn't.
Now I know that they're working on it, and I know the employees that are working it are doing a really good job of getting it, but it's still, you play one for so long and then you go to the other and it's completely different. Like even just attacking, you have to, and the way attacking works is really weird.
Well, in Bedrock, you can just spam attack. In Java, you can't do that. You
Yeah.
get the little cooldown timer thing.
But you know, they with every version they're getting closer and closer to parity. So maybe one of these days we'll get parity and all that. Hopefully we can get parity in Redstone, because if we can get parity in Redstone, if we can get parity in the way that mobs spawn, rates, locations, and all that of spawning mobs, then we can start building farms that'll work across both of them.
Mm-hmm.
But that's the biggest problem right now with the farms, is that spawning distances, spawning rates, all that stuff is different between the versions. So you have to navigate out those differences. And that's never fun to navigate. Minecraft is weird, man.
Yeah.
Minecraft is really weird. But still a lot of fun. As far as games go, it's still a blast. But, you know, I've still been playing way too much RuneScape.
Do you eat the chickens when you play Minecraft?
Do I what with chickens?
Do you eat chicken in Minecraft?
Yes.
I don't. It's too gamey.
Oh, Jesus, Brian. It's gonna be one of those days, isn't it?
Meh.
Meh. Oh. Yeah, so Christmas isn't quite done for us yet.
No.
Now we've got stuff going on my dad's for New Year's and Christmas combo, because things 1 through 3 have been at their mom's all week.
Yeah, we got a New Year's family Christmas gathering too.
They aren't bad. I mean, New Year's isn't a bad time to do it.
Yeah.
I suppose.
I'd rather stay at home and have some drinks, but yeah.
You know. So what are your plans for 23? Talk about some resolutions and what we want to accomplish in 2023. Maybe we can even talk about what we want to accomplish with this in 2023. Because I know we both have ideas of other stuff we want to do or how we want to add to it.
See how many of our listeners we can offend.
Well, I'm gonna back off, because I went pretty hard on Chris last week, which was funny, but at the same time, you know.
I'm gonna wait till he comes on so he can he can
Oh yeah, that'll happen. We'll
sort of
have
defend himself.
I'll sort of defend himself and then go after me for my optimism on things, especially when it comes to things like algorithms. I get the funny feeling that he doesn't agree with me on my stances for algorithms.
Or VPNs.
Yeah,
I kind of somewhat agree with you. I think they're helpful, but I don't think they're like 100%.
I think
I think they're like 75% helpful.
they're helpful in certain situations, but I don't think they do everything that is claimed that they'll do.
Yeah.
Or what people claim. I don't know how much they claim versus I find VPNs like one step up from incognito mode most of the time. Now there are legitimate times to use VPNs. And I've used them quite a bit for certain things, but for privacy, I don't know.
Yeah.
There are better ways to do privacy and encryption stuff than a commercial VPN.
Yeah, I pretty much figure if you're using a commercial ISP, then your privacy is pretty well thought.
Well, the ISP side, you can't. It's very difficult to connect yourself to an internet backbone without a service provider of some sort.
Yeah.
But VPN wise, yeah, if you're using a commercial VPN, you might have some problems. But then there's things like the Pixel 7s, I think, automatically use Google's VPN now.
Yeah, so is mine. So does my 4A. Actually,
it auto connects, and I don't have to set it up like I used to have to do.
Yeah.
With Google One. What I wish they would do was provide the Google VPN for desktops and stuff. I don't understand why they don't.
I have the Google Fi VPN. That's why mine auto connects.
Oh yeah, because it's the same. That's the same VPN. So the Pixel 7s introduced always using that now, instead of, so it doesn't matter what carrier you're on. Because you were getting it through Fi, I was getting it through Google One.
Yeah,
because I pay for extra storage.
Yeah, I've got it through both.
But I still get frustrated that I can't use it for desktop stuff.
Yeah, that seems silly.
Yeah, well, it's Google.
And it seems like since I have the Google Wi-Fi pod, I should. It seems like that they would have a way to have that on the.
You'd think so, but once again, Google.
Yeah, I wonder if it's available on the newer Nest Wi-Fi Pro.
Nope.
No.
No, I dug into that pretty hard.
Okay.
Yeah, I looked a lot of that when I was debating switching in from when I was pretty much rebuilding my entire Wi-Fi setup. I was trying to figure out all that stuff and hedging options and all of that before I ended up switching, going with the solution I have now, which I'm very happy with my solution now. It's not cheap and it's not for everyone, but it's a solution.
Yeah.
I mean, I ended up just running a commercial solution for my house. It works. But once again, not cheap and not for everyone, and I need more actual equipment to run everything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, 15 people living there.
Well, yeah, we got all the people living here plus all the smart objects. I was like, okay, I'll just go for a lot higher throughput for Wi-Fi,
Mm-hmm.
which is one of the reasons why I did it. And then being able to put, like, I put a point out in the garage just for even more through and through and expanded coverage. And eventually I need to run some stuff upstairs so I can get a lot better strength upstairs. But man, old houses, lath and plaster is so difficult to get signals through. It's terrible. It's been the most annoying bit of this whole thing is just lath and plaster. Half the time it acts like a Faraday cage.
At least you aren't trying to go through metal siding on the shop.
Yeah. Yeah, that would disrupt everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I ended up for my garage solution, which has been kind of crazy, is I went the power line adapters.
Yeah, we tried that here.
Do you have a second? I don't know. I'm not sure how yours is set up wise for electricity, but you don't have like a what?
I, have you not seen my wall of power?
No.
Oh my god. I have a massive 400 amp main shutoff box. And that bridges out into two shutoffs. One is for the house, and the other one is for the shop. And
Oh
then
boy.
the one for the house runs into the breaker box into the house, and the one in the shop goes into the breaker box in the shop, but also supplies 4 or 5 different 220 three-phase shutoffs.
Well, no wonder why power line adapters don't work.
Yeah,
You
because
don't have straight connections to anything.
I don't. It is the most confusing power system I've ever seen. We also have power out on a pole where they used to have a house trailer here. That is also goes straight into the main shutoff. It took me quite a while to figure that out. I went through everything. I was like, why is there just like one breaker out there in this little bitty box? Where does this go to? What is this? And I had shut off everything and could not figure it out. I finally I had a time where we didn't have anybody at the house, like everybody was gone and nothing was going on. And I was like, okay. I shut off the power to the whole property and it finally turned off. It's like, okay, I can figure this out now. Like I have to turn off the whole freaking property to wire this up.
That's terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, the nice thing about the AP spots is it's power over Ethernet. So I don't have to worry about a relayed wireless signal. I can just run it straight the way it needs to be run through Ethernet and then power it on over Ethernet as well, which required PoE routers and all sorts of fun stuff. But overall, it wasn't a terrible system to build up.
Yeah.
Just some careful planning. And then like my desktop, I don't run Wi-Fi to my desktop because it's not not as stable as a wired connection. So everything originates in the basement and then gets pushed up and out to everything else from there.
I bought a bunch of cable. I was going to run a line out to the shop so I could direct connect, my multiple Wi-Fi pots. I'd like to put my actual modem out there. So I know I have like my power to the house coming from the shop to the house somewhere across the yard. I don't know where it is. I called 411 last spring. I said, hey, I need to run an Ethernet line from the house to the barn. Can you come out and mark where the power is? And they're like, okay, it'll be sometime between this day and this day. We don't know what time. I get up one day, I go outside, and there's orange flags out in my yard. And it goes from the shop out to 12, and they all have Frontier on them. I'm like, well, what the hell? They had marked where the Frontier line comes in to the shop from US 12. Okay, that's not what I needed. So I pulled all the flags out. I called them back, said, hey, that wasn't what I needed. I'm running an Ethernet line. Can you mark where the power lines are?
From house to shop.
Yeah. So the next week, I wake up and there's flags with a little piece of paper pointing up, going out to 12, showing me where my power line comes through the air. It attaches to my shop. I was like, I can clearly fucking see that. I needed to know where the power line is under the ground between the house and the shop, not the one in the air coming from the road to my shop. What in the actual fuck?
At that point, it's probably just either rent or buy a metal detector and go find it yourself.
That's kind of what I was thinking. I was like, well, I did get my parents have a metal detector, so I was out with a metal. I used their metal detector. I could follow it for a little ways, and then I think it went too deep, so I couldn't figure out where light went.
The other solution you could do is an LOS dish and receiver up on top of the house and on top of the garage.
No, I just want to get cable ran. I already bought cable. Didn't think it would be that hard. Do a little trenching.
Yeah.
I'll try again this spring again and see if they can get me the right thing. Maybe I'll just leave all the flags out as they put them out. And just keep calling, be like, nope, not that one. Do the other one. Let's see what they come up with. See if I can catch them while they're here and be like, no, it's got to be over here.
It's like, look, I know what they told you because this is what they keep telling me, and this isn't what I need. Here's what I actually need.
Yeah. Here's what I need. I don't know why they would have. I don't know why they would have marked the line in the air. That one still puzzles me.
Because whoever you talked to didn't understand and was typing in the instructions wrong.
Yeah.
The line in the air. That's funny.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's always a puzzler of what to do with that. I don't
I know
know.
there's a coax that runs out there. Jeez, I was tempted to just like pull that up and just lay my cable down where the coax is.
Isn't there? You can do Ethernet over coax if you know where the points are.
The one end doesn't make it all the way into the shop because I didn't know it was there and hit it with the motor. So
What they do? Just lay it on top of the ground?
no, but it came up a few feet away from the shop. I think maybe they had pulled it out like of the shop wall and then just had it grilled up on the ground. Maybe. I'm not totally sure. I didn't know it was there. And then all of a sudden the mower quit.
The mower made the noise that you never want to hear a mower make.
Yeah. And there were little pieces of orange metal went flying everywhere.
Yup. That terrifying noise. There are a few noises that terrify me, especially being a homeowner. One of them is that noise for a mower. And the other noise is running water. Anytime I hear running water, I panic.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know if something is leaking. And even something that seems to be like, okay, this would be somewhat normal for leaking, is terrifying to hear leaking. Because, yeah, it money.
Yeah.
Lots and lots of money.
Yeah.
People don't realize that a constantly running toilet can cost thousands of dollars easily.
Well, for you, I don't have a water bill.
Yeah, well, I'm city, so yeah, that's true.
Yeah. It's the benefit of being on a well and septic.
Yeah. So your septic tank fills up.
Well, no, I have a drain field. So I have a massive hole in the ground out behind the shop where the septic goes. It's called a leach bed. So there's like massive tubes that roll out, like out behind the shop. So it goes into the septic tank and like breaks down and then goes into the leach bed and then like refertilizes my yard.
Interesting.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't mind city water and city sewer. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
I don't know if
Portland's
I
water
could.
was okay.
I don't know if I could live out in the country again.
Yeah, I like it. I like the quiet.
I like the convenience.
Yeah, I do. I do miss the 2 a.m. Food deliveries.
I would definitely miss the convenience again. And I'd miss my internet.
I don't know, mine hasn't been bad. I've been averaging like 400 now.
Yeah. I'd miss my internet. And it was one of those things where you don't have to go outside of Fort Wayne that far before internet becomes a massive problem. I learned that one trying to find internet for my dad.
Yeah.
That was insane. Like literally the only outside of Starlink, the only option that he had for high-speed internet was satellite until we found a local ISP that was beaming line of sight satellite from location to location. So that's what they're stuck on right now. They have a satellite dish that's pointed toward the town, and he gets somewhat speedy internet occasionally through that.
Is that WiMAX? I bet you that's WiMAX. Oh, it's probably an old Sprint technology.
It's whatever the local ISP has. I'm not sure what it is. It's some sort of a line of sight beaming non-standard, like 12 or 14 people are on their ISP type of a thing.
Yeah,
which
probably
I thought was
WiMAX.
horribly stupid. Because they don't even have access. They don't even have like cable lines, so they couldn't even get cable internet.
Yeah.
But that didn't stop 4 different ISPs from reporting to the FCC that they provide broadband internet to that area.
That was the issue I had here.
Yep.
The Spectrum said they provided high-speed internet.
Frontier, AT&T, Comcast, Xfinity, and 2 cable companies all told the FCC that they provided internet to my dad's place based on address. None of them do.
Yeah, did you report them all?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Not that it's going to do anything, but yes.
I got a phone call from Spectrum, from like a high up guy in Spectrum, who offered to build in a connection point off of because their fiber optic cable goes from Quincy to Reading, and it goes through my yard. Like, comes down, turns the corner, and it goes through my yard on 2 sides.
Really?
And I reported them to the FCC, said, hey, they say they offer high-speed internet. I tried to sign up. They clearly do not offer high-speed internet. What do we do here? And then FCC was like, oh, we'll talk to them and see what's going on. And then I got a call from Spectrum, and they were like, hey, so yeah, we say that because we can hook you up, but we'll have to put a point in, so it'll be $400,000.
Yep.
Shit.
I would have contacted the FCC back and told them that was the solution.
Yeah, I did. And they're like, well, that's the connection fee. Oh, these bitches.
Yeah. Yeah, the other option they had was like HughesNet.
Yeah, fuck that.
Yeah, that's what we pretty much decided. Dad's like, I'm not paying $80 a month for 5 down and 1 up. That's not going to happen.
Yeah.
That will never happen. So yeah, it's high-speed internet's a problem. Still a problem somehow.
I'm liking my T-Mobile though. It's doing pretty good. Like even during even while it was storming and stuff, it did really well. So.
Oh, and that was the other problem is that because of where they live and where those towers are, they wouldn't get reliable high-speed connection through that.
Huh.
So yeah, internet for them was massive issue of getting that all figured out. I mean, we sort of got it figured out, but I still don't like the solution that we had to come up with.
Yeah.
My brother got the Starlink, the RV Starlink system. So they were running that for a little while. But then that became really, the speeds on that became insanely unreliable. Because as nice as it is, I don't think people realize how horribly unreliable the speeds are on it.
Yeah.
They've been getting in some massive trouble for that lately. I think they've been able to hide behind it's just a beta for a while, but I don't know how long that's gonna survive out through the FCC on what they say they're providing and what they actually provide.
Yeah.
The other thing that annoys me is that their use of up to is insanely misleading for consumers. And I think the FCC wants to start cracking down on that. If anything, either the FCC or the FTC should. Because when you claim up to, say, 600 meg down, when that's a theoretical number and actual speeds is somewhere around 30, that becomes a problem.
Yep. That's what I was looking at. Was a lot of people were. There were a lot of people on Reddit that were like, we're only getting like 30 down.
Yep.
What do I do?
And they're hiding behind the, well, we say that it's up to, and it's not an actual speed. And it's like, well, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
That's scummy.
Yeah.
Whether or not it's legal or not doesn't matter. That's just scummy.
Yeah.
And they're not, and to be fair to Starlink, they're not the only ones that are doing it, but everyone else is pretty much consistent on certain speeds. And they were way the fuck off.
That's what I liked about T-Mobile was they were like, they didn't really say like what a speed was going to be.
Well, because they ran it based upon it. They built theirs entire thing based on 5G connection or whatever.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, you can connect to 5G.
And so it's whatever the current speed is for 5G, because they were advertising a connection point and not an actual speed, which is good, but it's one of the reasons why I decided not to go with them, was because it's not an actual speed, and I kind of like to understand what the speeds are for stuff.
Yeah.
Almost. Sorry about that. I had to disappear for just a sec. But yeah, no, I mean, it is what it is, I guess. I mean, internet service providers are like cable companies. They're just scummy to begin with, and they extract as much out as they can.
Mm-hmm. Keeping how it be.
I got no love for them. But yeah, no, I think next week we should have a better plan of what we want to do for 2023. We'll let everybody know. But I hope everybody has a great holiday weekend once again. And until next week, Brian.
Yeah. Well, check you later.
Yepers.